time to do some of the inside activities, keeping in mind that we really, really, really want to have the children have time to collect some rocks outside. So let's see, 10 o'clock, so we have an hour. So let's take a few minutes to do this 3 different inside activities, and then we'll go outside together and do a lot of fun things out. And I think we're a pretty small group, so my choice would be for us to work together here at this table and do everything together. Okay. So the first station I want to do is rocks up close. And so why don't you come on over and gather around the table here.
So Chris, this is like a station 1. The next 2 activities could be 2 other stations, so you could actually, if you have enough adults in the room, run them simultaneously.
If you have enough adults, you could do, you have 3 things going on at once and have people do different stations. It's great to have magnifying lenses. Do our schools have magnifying lenses?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's so important. All right, so the first part of this is Rocks Up Close Part 1. This is the bag that's in your rock sets. Okay, and then there's Rocks Up Close Part 2. All right, so starting with Rocks Up Close Part 1, I'll tell you about this. This is Barry Granite. So if you're interested in Barry Granite, you go over to, I mean, it's there's a quarry over there, and they do a lot with they quarry the rocks and they process them and so on. They have a nice little visitor center, very nice visitor center. I understand they do tours. I have never done one. But they also have a little dumpster out back, and it's full of all the pieces that they discard when they're done making monuments or whatever they're making. And so those are up for grabs. And so there seems to always be a bunch of people gathered around the dumpster picking out pieces of granite. So, have you been there? Good. Okay. So we tried to put in enough pieces of granite so that everybody, Barry Granite, so everybody. Yes. Some of it too. Does everybody have a piece to look at? There's more here.
Thank you for showing me your granite piece. Awesome. All right, good. Put it out.
I'm sure that was in there. Okay, so what about Grandma Granite? Grandma Granite talked about what are those different, the rock hound asked Grandma Granite, what are those different speckles in you? And her answer was, what were the different speckles? What do I know? I gotta go check.
Yes, they are the mineral crystals in the granite.
And so Christine, I've got one more here for you. So we wanted to, at this station, we wanted to have enough pieces of granite so every child could actually hold and look at one up close. So with your magnifying lenses, I want you to look at that rock and see if you can see 3 different kinds of little patches or speckles in here, 3 different colors, and they might actually be different. So here's a good time to review use of the magnifying lens, all right? As I see you guys all skipped over like this. All right, so my favorite way, and I review this often with children because it just doesn't seem to be instinctive. So you can, you can magnify something by holding the magnifying lens down next to it and looking through it, but you're not getting the most 3-dimensional magnified view of what you're looking at that way. So a better way to do it is to put the magnifying lens up close to your eye, and then either bring the rock up to the lens until it comes into focus, or a combination of kind of coming down a little closer. But hold it in your hand, bring the lens down, and your head down a little bit until it comes into focus, looking through the biggest lens. And now you get a really good 3-dimensional view. It's almost like you're looking through a microscope. Now, once you're at this point, then you should move the medium-sized lens over your eye, and everything gets blurry. So you need to go, either bring the rock up closer to your eye, or bring your eye down a little closer to the rock, and you're getting much closer and a much more magnified view of it now, right? And now move the tiniest lens over your eye, and you have to go even closer. And do you see how, really it's almost like looking through a magnifying lens, and you can see. So when you look that closely, can you see patches of different colors? Can you see some black ones? You see white, and gray, And those are the 3 different minerals that are in quartz. That are in granite. Granite has 3 different minerals. The black is called mica, and it looks pretty shiny. Mica has shiny faces. And then it has the quartz. And in granite, quartz looks kind of gray, even though when you get a solid piece of quartz, it looks clear or white, or it can be different colors. And I think because there's a lot of black around it, it tends to look gray. It's the gray patches in your granite. And then there's a third mineral that's called feldspar, and it's the white patches. So did you see 3 different patches in there? We also put in a piece of, this is a piece of darker black granite. It's not from Vermont, it's from somebody else, but they had it somewhere else, but they had it in their dumpster. And they also had some red granite here, which I think might be from Ireland or something. But even without your lens, if you just tip it this way and that, you can see those sparkly faces, and that's the mica, which is one of the minerals that are in granite. And so granite's a rock that has those 3 crystals in it. We want everybody to get to see that. Okay. So remember that the minerals in rocks are like the raisins and nuts in a granola bar.